everyone, we are from Group 3 and in this video we are going to cover a double grammar topic that often appears in the test, degree of comparison. This topic helps us understand how to compare people, objects, or situations using adjectives correctly. Whether we want to show equality, inequality, superiority, or the highest degree, we have prepared 6 questions, 3 sentence completion, and 3 errors recognition. Try to answer each question before we reveal the correct answer. Let's get started.
Degrees of comparison. Degrees of comparison help us compare things using adjectives and adverbs. There are 3 levels. First, positive degree. This is the basic form, which just describes something without comparing it. For example, tall, beautiful, and good. And number 2 is comparative degree. Used to compare two things. We show that one thing has more of a quality than another. For short words, 1 until 2 syllables, and er plus than. Example, tall become taller than. For long words, 3 and more syllables, use more plus adjective plus than. Example, beautiful become more beautiful than. And irregular words, they change completely. And the example is good become better than. Number 3 is superlative degree. Used to compare 3 or more things. We show the highest or most extreme level of something. For short words, add the plus est, and the example is the tallest. For long words, use the most plus adjective. The example is the most beautiful, and if it's irregular words, the example is good become the best.
After reviewing all the proposals, the committee decided that Mia's presentation was blah 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 than the others in terms of clarity and depth. A. More clear. B. Clearest. C. Clearer. D. The most clearer. Take a moment to choose your answer. The answer is C. Explanation. We are comparing Mia's presentation to the others, so we need to use the comparative form of the adjective. The correct comparative form of clear is clearer, not more clear. Although more clear is sometimes used, clearer is more natural and preferred. The most clearer is incorrect because it mixes two comparative forms, most plus er, which is grammatically wrong. Clearest is superlative, used when comparing more than two and choosing the top one, but in this case, we are simply comparing one against the others generally. Identify the part of the sentence that contains an error. Of all the candidates interviewed for the internship, Joshua appeared as the most qualified and more confident one. Take a moment to choose your answer. The correct answer is D, more confident one. Explanation. The pairs of all the candidates suggests a superlative comparison is needed. More confident is a comparative used for comparing two people or things. Since Joshua is being compared to all the candidates, we must use the most confident, which is superlative form. So, the pair should be the most confident one.
This year's conference was significantly blah 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 than last year's, attracting more attendance and keynote speakers. A. More successful, B. Successful, C. The most successful, and D. As successful. The correct answer is A. More successful. The keyword here is than. which tell us we are making a comparison between two things, this year's conference and last year's. In English, when comparing two things, we use the comparative form of adjectives. Successful, become more successful in the comparative form. So, the correct phrase is more successful than last year's. The other options don't fit because B. Successful, use a plain adjective, no comparison. And C. The most successful. This is used when comparing more than two things. And D. As successful would only work in a sentence like as successful as last year's. So, the full correct answer is this year's conference was significantly more successful than last year's, attracting more attendance and keynote speakers. Identify the part of the sentence that contains an error. The second draft of the essay was more clearly organized, more concise, and the better written of the three versions the students submitted. The mistake is in C. The sentence is comparing three versions of the essay. When comparing more than two things, English uses the superlative form, not the comparative. Better is the comparative form, used for comparing two things. Best is the superlative form, used for comparing three or more things. Since the sentence say of the three versions, it could be the best better written inside of the better written. So, the correct sentence is the second draft of the essay was more clearly organized, more concise, and the best written of the three versions the students submitted.
Okay, and then the next question is, kita akan melengkapi kalimat yang numpang. Kalimat ini, the new smartphone is blah blah blah, jadi numpang ya. Then the old one, with the faster processor and better camera. Jadi kita membandingkan dua benda, yaitu ada yang lebih baik daripada yang tua. Seperti itu. Jadi jawaban yang benar adalah more expensive. Karena untuk membandingkan dua benda, kita menggunakan more. Nah, penjelasannya, in this sentence, we compare two objects, yaitu new smartphone and old one. Jadi kita membandingkan dua benda, yaitu smartphone yang baru dan smartphone yang lama atau sudah tua. Using the word than. Jadi kita membandingkannya menggunakan kata than. Nah, which show comparison untuk menunjukkan sebuah perbandingan atau comparison. Therefore, we use the comparative form. Kita menggunakan comparative, yaitu more expensive. Dan untuk menunjukkan that the new smartphone is more expensive than the old one, the comparative form more expensive is used because the word expensive has more than one syllable and does not end in y, which changes to ir in the comparative form. And then the next question is identify the part of the sentence that contains an error. Jadi kita harus mengidentifikasi kalimat ini apakah ada kata yang tidak sesuai dalam struktur kalimat tersebut. She is more intelligent than most of the students in her class. Kita identifikasi ya. Oke, jawabannya di sini adalah A, yaitu yang more. Kenapa more? The word more in this sentence is wrong because we are comparing one girl to the entire class. Jadi, kata yang salah dalam kalimat tersebut adalah kata more, karena dalam kalimat tersebut itu kita hanya membandingkan one girl, satu orang, satu anak perempuan dalam kelasnya. Seperti itu. If we are comparing many people atau more than two, jadi kalau kita membandingkan banyak orang atau lebih dari 2 orang, we use most for long adjective like beautiful. Jadi kalau kita membandingkan lebih dari 2 atau banyak, kita menggunakan most, bukan more. So the correct one is she is the most beautiful girl in her class. Jadi yang salah adalah kata more. Yang seharusnya most. Ya. Untuk catatannya di sini adalah jika kita membandingkan atau kita meng-compare dia orang atau benda, kita menggunakan more. Seperti contoh, she is more beautiful than her sister. Tapi jika kita membandingkan banyak orang atau benda, kita menggunakan more. Seperti contohnya, she is the most beautiful in her class. Terima kasih.